Welcome to I Am the River, Go with the Flow, a video excerpt from a conference call held on February 8th, 2010. In a dynamic, motivating, and compelling message, Mary Magdalene speaks about how to remove obstacles on our path and release patterns, beliefs, and ideas that inhibit the flow of the river of our life force. For us to be congruent and free, we must focus only on what we wish to create and let our river flow. To hear the complete message, to participate in these conference calls, or to learn how to purchase the CD or transcript of this call, view our website, soulsupportsystems.org. These conference calls are one of our ongoing programs and provide information, education, and experience about the soul. Join us now as we move through the river of our life force, opening our awareness so that we can do what we came here to do.
I would like to congratulate each of you on your intention to more fully bring the presence of your heart into your life. I would also like to honor those of you who have understood the message and begun to propel the sails and the motors of your boat down the river of your choosing. This time is extremely precarious, chaotic, and disruptive. It's an out-of-order time when the parallels of consciousness must find their symmetry. Each of you is in a position where your choices are going to show up so blatantly, so clearly, and so directly that before long you will know as soon as you think a thought, because of the outcome of the moment and how the unfolding occurs, whether or not that thought was intentional or unintentional, whether it was following down the stream of your consciousness or moving back upstream against the flow of your own intuition and innate awareness. Societal conditioning and belief systems have been forged in your mind and your awareness, in your body, in the patterns that you carry, and in your thought process for millennium, many, many, many moons. What you believe and think are real are the, let's just say, the stepping stones to move you actually out of the containers and the boxes that you find yourself in, because these belief systems, if you look at them, do not make any sense. You hold on to what you feel responsible for, what you have guilt about, what you should have done last week, what you should do next week, what is showing up for you in the moment about what you're capable of and not capable of, and you have not yet touched the jewel stone of your own awakening. And so therefore you are finding your life in a way that doesn't really resound or have consonance with the harmony of your own being. If you are not receiving what you should be receiving in your heart, in other words, if you're giving and balancing in that receiving, the giving and the balancing of the receiving is not the same, then you have this feeling of being out of order, which then is magnified by the conditions you find yourself in the world, because, of course, the conditions on the inside are creating the conditions on the outside. So the stepping stones to moving out of that is basically to look at your beliefs, to look at every thought you have, every action you take, and say, is this congruent with who I am? Do I know who I am? Do I know what river I am propelling down? Did I choose that river, or did someone choose it for me? Did I sign a contract so I have to stay on that river, even when it no longer serves my inner purpose, my outer experience, or the heart of what I intend to create on this planet? Each of you is at a crossroads, and I spoke about it last time in a way that had to do with humanity and the systems through which individuals are, annihilating and decapitating and struggling to find their way by stepping on each other. And the last time I spoke about it, it was true, and it's still true. That is happening in your world, and it's going to continue to happen in your world as long as the order of the consciousness of the truth of the light that we all carry within us is not the predominant social choice. And in your consciousness, there is a direction that your flow, your inner river wants to go down. And there is an opportunity for you to get on that river. And if you're not on it now, then opportunities will come to you so that you can choose to be on it. As we have been speaking to you about through many voices for many years now, cooperation is the byword of 2012. And in order to get to 2012, we need to get through 2011. And 2011's byword is implementation, bringing what you know into the world so that in 2012 we start cooperating. We can cooperate through natural disasters, or we can cooperate through choosing the river of our own experience to be cooperation. We can acknowledge that cooperation is the grease that moves us into superconsciousness. And yet, many of us still do not know how to co-create. There is an opportunity for us to live in a spectrum of awareness that is not confined to duality. And every time it's me and them, or every time it's I have, they have, I don't have, they have, I have, they don't have, whatever. There is that sensitivity to the message that as long as all beings are unequal and in situations that do not sustain their lives, no being is being sustained. The crossroads that we find ourselves sitting in the middle of in this moment is the choice to go with the belief systems that have ordained the reality of this world, which is the illusion, or to remember the truth in every moment that we are all one. We cannot think a thought against someone without thinking it against ourselves. And we cannot take an action against someone without taking an action against ourselves. At the same time, it is an opportunity to choose honesty over responsibility or guilt or some other societal habitual space that does not serve the truth of oneness. If we are all one, then when we're in a group, we act as if we're all one. And when that does not occur, it is up to each of us to stand there and say, something is not comfortable in this experience. And to begin to take apart, dismantle, and, in a sense, disregard that which no longer holds the consciousness of truth, no matter what it is, and no matter who's saying it, no matter how powerful they are, what they seem to know or not know. It's so much our opportunity to cooperate in the voyage together, moving through the river of our own experience of consonance, being congruent. The amazing thing that happens is that if you are each in that congruent space, if you are each in that space where your river is flowing in a beautiful, open way, all of the rivers flow together into the ocean of consciousness. There is not separation because the rivers become the same force. That's how we are equal. That's how we sustain life. That's how we honor and respect the momentum of our character, of our consciousness, and our credibility. Our credibility as human beings needs an upliftment. Our word needs to be our word. Our calling needs to be our calling.